promised me so much.
Doom is a game that's all about decimating horrifying monstrosities and battling against the legions of hell. So it's a little curious that the ultimate big bad of the game's story is a human. It works out well though because Olivia Pierce is portrayed as a very interesting character, or at least her backstory is portrayed in a very interesting manner. By the time Doom 2016 comes to a close, she is irrevocably and unquestionably dead, so there's less than zero chances of her showing up again in Doom Eternal. Besides, it looks like the sequel is going to move on to things of much larger scale, as it brings the likes of the Maker, the Betrayer, and the Icon of Sin into the fold, with Samuel Hayden probably primed to take on a more central role in the story. But as the woman who essentially started this whole mess, which brought the Doomslayer out of his long slumber and thrust him back into the battlefield, it's clear that her importance in the series' story will never be diminished. So as we count down the days to Doom Eternal's launch, in this feature we'll be recounting the full story of Olivia Pierce from beginning to end. Throughout the course of Doom, we see Olivia as everything from a woman with a titanium exoskeleton to a demonic mechanical arachnid. More on both of these in a bit. But things didn't start out that way for her. She was, unsurprisingly, just a regular woman once. Well, physically speaking anyway. Even before her work twisted her body into something unrecognizable, Olivia still had a remarkable brain. At a young age, Olivia's studies were sponsored by none other than Samuel Hayden, the chairman of the Union Aerospace Corporation, and she would go on to excel in her studies, graduating with an honors degree in biomechanics and genetics. Soon, she was appointed to the Global Science Council, and it was clear that she was meant for great things. Although, when her mentor Hayden offered her a position in the UAC, she turned that offer down, figuring that she wasn't suited to a life of work in the energy industry, which is where the UAC operated primarily. She instead pursued other work, including founding Nanostruct Aerospace and Defense Systems. Hayden, however, eventually managed to get her to join his fold. He did this by sending her an artifact from the Argent Fracture on Mars, and seeing its curious nature and its fascinating attributes and potential, Olivia instantly became obsessed with it and with Argent energy in general. She joined up with the UAC, where she went on to become the head of the Lazarus Project. Her work with Argent energy and her near constant contact with the realm of hell, though, took a toll on her, both mentally and physically. Physically, Olivia developed scoliosis, which almost completely wrecked her body, forcing her into a wheelchair. Much like Hayden, though, who had found a workaround for his brain cancer through scientific means, Olivia accepted to undergo an experimental operation that would allow her to retain her mobility. That surgery led to her augmenting her body by integrating it with a titanium exoskeleton, and though it did indeed remove her scoliosis and allowed her to at least move around, it proved to be a double-edged blade. As a result of her surgery, Olivia found that she was in a constant state of torment and torturous pain. When she was offered painkillers, she turned them down, refusing to take them because she didn't want her mind to be addled by medication. Her work took a mental toll on her as well, as we touched on earlier, spending an inordinate amount of time researching and studying not just Argent energy but hell itself and everything to do with it. Olivia became obsessed with the realm, to the point of fanatical devotion. She brainwashed the people working under her in the Mars UAC facility, and eventually she had turned completely from her work and her research, even as her relationship with Hayden continued to get strained. That culminated in a deal with the devil. Olivia, meanwhile, had her own reasons for defecting, so to speak. Driven by her fanatical devotion to hell, and promised by the forces of hell that they would take her constant physical torment away, Olivia agreed to keep the location of the Doomslayer's slumbering body hidden, all while she continued to turn more people on Mars into followers of hell. But she failed in that goal, with Hayden, who knew that the Doomslayer might just be needed if things with hell Hell ever got out of hand, successfully recovering the ancient soldier. When that happened, though, Olivia decided to take extreme measures. She opened a portal from Hell, allowing their forces to flood into Mars. The consequences were catastrophic, as you can imagine, and every single person in the UAC base other than Olivia herself and Hayden was killed. Having prepared for such an eventuality, however, Hayden had an ace up his sleeve. He awoke the Doomslayer, enlisting his help in attempting to close the portal from Hell and stopping Olivia's machinations. Even though the ultimate goals of the two did not align, their immediate goals did. Her meeting with the Doomslayer, however, does not come until the very end of the game. While the Slayer does some much-needed damage control, taking out the forces of Hell and fighting to undo the damage done by Olivia, she is teleported into Hell, where she is tasked with protecting Hell should the Slayer manage to make his way there. He does, of course, and it is at this inopportune moment that Hell chooses to hold up their end of the bargain with Olivia. They take away the physical body that keeps her in a constant torment, but they do so by turning her into a massive mechanical arachnid-like creature with a huge brain planted on top of it, also known as the Spider Mastermind. The Spider Mastermind appeared in the very first Doom game all the way back in 1993 as well, where it served as the final boss. Fittingly enough, when Olivia takes the form of the Spider Mastermind, she serves as the final boss fight in Doom 2016 too, and though she poses a formidable challenge, the Doomslayer does what he always does. He destroys his enemy, killing Olivia, or the Spider Mastermind that used to be Olivia, by shoving a BFG 9000 into her mouth and blowing a ginormous hole into her head. Obviously, that's the last we see of her, dead beyond a doubt and with no means of coming back unless Hell's priests decide to resurrect her as something even more horrifying than the Spider Mastermind. Olivia is probably not gonna have much of a presence or much of an impact in Doom Eternal and the story it tells, but we can at least thank her for one thing. We can thank her for her actions, which were what led to the awakening of the legendary Doomslayer, who will soon be shredding demons to pieces left, right, and center when Doom Eternal launches on March 20.
And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, please hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to switch on the notifications bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.